tested a ton of curly hair products within the last year. Some were a total fail and others made it into my top products of all time. In this video, I'm sharing the best and worst products that I tried in 2024, so that way you know what to avoid and what's worth trying. My name is Gina and welcome back to my channel. Here we talk all things curly hair. I love simplifying things, talking about the science of hair, product ingredients, and I'm also a curl coach who loves helping my clients find the perfect products for them in our curl coaching sessions. So we're going to talk about the products that just did not work for me first, and then I will get into the products that did work for me. Just a little disclaimer, if you don't see a product in here that I might have talked about, it just means that it didn't quite make the top list, or maybe it just means that I need to test it a little bit longer, or it's something that I didn't necessarily try in 2024. Maybe I actually tried it the year prior. So we're focusing on the new products that I tested in 2024. I also just wanted to clarify that if I didn't like a product, it doesn't mean that it is a bad product or that the brand sucks. I'm just sharing my experience with them, and I will be sharing whose hair type I think it might work best for or better for. Our first product has been highly rated. There's been a lot of hype around it, and that is the Olaplex No. 10 Bond Shaper Curl Defining Gel. This product has been talked about so much, and you might see a lot of people raving about it, but it actually was not my favorite. And I have quite a few gels because I'm really picky with gel, and a lot of gels don't give me the longevity that I want out of my routine, and I have achieved longer lasting curls with other products that I really like, so I tend to compare everything to that. So this is the Olaplex No. 10 gel. I was really excited to see that Olaplex was coming out with styling products because I love their other products. They have their special patented bond building technology that repairs damage. So I was really excited about this. This is a good gel if you like medium or light hold gels, but it does not necessarily do what it claims for my hair type. So I'm gonna put up the claims on the screen with each product so that way you can see what the product claims to do, and then I'll put an X or a check if it did that for me. That doesn't mean that these products don't do these things, it's just it didn't do it for me and I can't confirm these things. It says it provides 72-hour frizz control. That was definitely not the case for me. I maybe got about 12 hours out of it, if any. It just didn't quite have enough hold or longevity for my curls. I'm a huge fan of tracking my results from my routines. I try and track everything. I actually have a curly hair tracker and planner that I used all throughout the year to track my results from testing all of these products. So luckily I have some notes on all of these, and that is what I'm sharing for this video. If you haven't already downloaded that, I'll put the link down below. It's really helpful if you like testing products. So in reading my notes from my tracker when I used this, it said very slippery and was easy to apply. I had a medium cast. The cast completely disappears and then the hair frizzes up. That's the key. I've tried lighter hold gels where that doesn't happen. You can break up the cast and it doesn't frizz. So that's the main thing that I look for when testing a light to medium hold gel. I said that the gel had great slip and moisture, but I had a lot of wet frizz and webbing while applying it. The curls look and feel good after dried, but have more frizz than usual when I use my stronger hold gels. And I also said that I had a good refresh, but a lot of frizz even after refreshing. So I did do a video using this gel. If you want to see how I apply them in my actual review, those will be linked in the description box down below. So I think this would work well for people who just prefer a light to medium hold gel. But if your hair is still transitioning, if it's damaged, then it's probably not gonna last very long in your hair, which is unfortunate because the whole Olaplex line is designed to repair and prevent damage. So it's a little bit counterintuitive there. Next, we have the Aveda Be Curly Advanced Coil Definer Gel, and also the entire Be Curly Advanced line. So I did try the entire line. I actually did some content on it. I did a review on it, and I also did a refresh live on this gel, and this gel was just not for me. So it claims to have 72-hour frizz control. Again, with the 72-hour, I don't know what brands think when they're claiming that, because that was the same with the last one. It also says it provides humidity protection, which it did not do at all for me. It says it gives 2 times the shine, which it did do that. My results were very shiny. And it says it provides definition, which it definitely did. So my curls looked good and very shiny right after applying it and after my hair dried, but I had a lot more frizz than usual after diffusing. And I had a ton of frizz after scrunching out the cast, and my hair didn't even last through the end of the day, meaning it got much frizzier by the end of the day. day, and it got very frizzy as the days went on to the point where I had to do a major refresh. So this is what I want to avoid with gels. Some refreshing is normal, especially if you still have some damage in your hair. I don't expect to do nothing to my hair, but I shouldn't have to do full refreshes every single day. And it also shouldn't make it look worse when I refresh. That happens quite a bit with gels that don't work for me. And Aveda actually says that this is more for 3C to 4C hair types. However, I don't recommend paying attention to curl types when it comes to picking products. It's really about your texture and your porosity. So maybe if you had a very tight curl pattern, but it's not very frizzy naturally, or if you don't mind some frizz, then this could totally work. It's highly moisturizing and has a lot of oils in it. So it definitely would be too heavy with someone with finer hair types. I just have two more gels that are kind of following the same trend. The next is the Mirabelle Natural Silky Smooth Flaxseed Gel. I heard so many good things about this. So many people love this gel, but for me, again, it just did not last. I recall getting a pretty good cast out of this, but it just completely frizzed up as soon as I broke that cast. And I don't even think I broke the cast. I think it just released after a couple of minutes without touching it. This claims to give a medium hold, which I think it's more of a light hold. I don't really consider it a medium hold unless if it did give more of a cast. They claim that it keeps curls for days. Definitely didn't do that for me, and I applied a lot of it. Like, I do all of my best practices for getting the strongest hold out of my stylers, and it still didn't cut it. It claims to tame frizz, which for me it didn't. I still had a lot of frizz. It says that it's very silky smooth and slippery, and it definitely is that. So it's a flaxseed gel. It's very jelly-like, very smooth. It's a thinner consistency, which I like. Flaxseed gels can work great for people with lower porosity hair, or if you live in a dry climate. You're probably noticing a trend here. I have higher porosity hair. It's like medium to high porosity, and I deal with a lot of humidity. So all of these are more so for your healthier, lower porosity, dry climate people. So I think that's why it didn't work for me. In my tracker, I said I can tell this gel won't last long, but it seems to be better than most of my all natural gels. And then the next day I wrote, hair looked better before I refreshed. Should have left it alone, but I was trying to tame some frizz. Curls do regroup some after finger twirling, but not as good as my Ouidad gel. So if you didn't already know, one of my favorite gels is the Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Stronger Hold Gel. It's not featured in this video because I tried it many years ago and it's one of my all-time favorites. But I tend to compare everything to that because that gel gives me long-lasting results for days without refreshing. So I know it's possible. So when gels don't do that, they're not enough hold for me. Another gel that followed a similar trend but was a little bit better is the Redken Sculpting Curl Gel. It says it gives 72-hour long-lasting hold, which it did not do that for me. It frizzed by the end of the day. It claims a 76% frizz reduction. I don't know about 76%. I don't know where these brands get these percentages. I would say maybe like a 50% frizz reduction. It still tames some frizz, but not all frizz like a stronghold gel. It claims to seal in hydration for 72 hours. I definitely think it could do that. It was pretty moisturizing. And it says no crunch, which I didn't really have much crunch. Whenever brands claim no crunch, for me, it's always a red flag because I want the crunch. That's something that I don't look for, but I can still sometimes get crunch out of no crunch gels with some of my stronghold practices that I share a lot in content. And when I still don't get a crunch, that's when it's frustrating. In my notes, I said nothing stood out to me and I couldn't really tell a difference in terms of curl bounce and definition. That was referring to the whole Redken acidic bonding line. So maybe it just wasn't for me because my hair is not super damaged. I did test out the whole Redken acidic bonding line. I didn't really notice the difference, but that's something I need to keep testing. But the gel, I did try quite a few times. Didn't last for me and the rest of the line was just okay. And a lot of these for me is also the price. I consider price when I recommend something, and if something's very expensive, like I'm talking the $30 range, it better be amazing. So when some of these are really pricey, like a Redken or the Olaplex gel or some of the other products I talked about, that's when I have a hard time saying, yes, this is a good gel. Like, I don't mind a light or a medium hold gel. It's not just about the hold. It's the amount of time I'm gonna have to spend refreshing, the amount of frizz that I get when that's not my preference and how my hair looks. For the price, for me, they're not worth it. Next is a hair mask, and that's the Verb Curl Defining Mask. I was shocked that this did this to my hair, but it caused the weirdest waxy film. I've never experienced that in a hair mask before. So it is a lightweight mask in that it's pretty runny, like it's not a thick, curl mask or anything. It's not like a conditioner consistency. It's pretty liquidy, which was odd. I don't know if I just got a bad batch or what, but this was the strangest experience. I noticed some similar reviews on retailers, I think like Ulta or Sephora, but on their website, it has really good reviews, which was a little sketchy. But I've heard a lot of people like this, so I was really surprised in the feeling that I got on my hair. So I was not expecting that. It was so bad that I had to rewash my hair to get rid of that waxy feeling. Had to shampoo, recondition, and then my hair still did not turn out right that wash day. So it took a little bit to get that residue out of my hair. It claims it's rich in moisture, which I don't think it is because it wasn't very thick and did not feel moisturizing at all. It also claims to reduce frizz, which I would never really expect a mask or a conditioner to do that. I mean, yes, it will fix dryness, which can cause frizz, but it's not really gonna have an impact on your results. It's really your gel in the last product you use that will really make a difference in frizz. Just not for me. What's odd about this formula is I don't see any traditional conditioning ingredients, like I don't see cetyl alcohol or those other fatty alcohols. I really only see a bunch of emollients and then some starches. So emollients are like your oils and butters. Another Mirabelle product, but this is another trend that I see a lot with very natural shampoos. This is the Creamy Hair Cleanser. This is different though in that it's a scrub and a co-wash in one, which in theory sounds good because you do need more of that scrubbing and cleansing when it comes to a co-wash. But co-washes are just not for me. This one did nothing in terms of cleansing. It didn't even lather even a tiny bit in my hair. I normally don't recommend co-washes, but if I were to use one, like if my scalp wasn't dirty, but I just needed a quick rewash like the next day or something, I would at least want something that gave a little bit of a foam when you actually scrub it, or at least made my hair feel a little clean. This one made it feel dirtier. I did not like the grit that was in it. It was hard to get it out of my hair and it did not lather at all. So I think I put in my notes on my tracker that it felt like I was applying a gritty lotion to my scalp and hair and my scalp was still dirty. So I always check after I shampoo my hair and make sure my scalp is clean, and I had a ton of buildup still. We have just 2 more products that didn't work for me before the best ones that did work for me. So next is the Dove Scalp and Hair Therapy Clarifying Shampoo. This was a surprise to me because this is labeled as a clarifying shampoo, but just like the last shampoo, it was not cleansing enough. So I even used this a couple times and I still had buildup on my scalp. I was expecting a strong cleanse out of Dove, who's typically a sulfate brand. This one's sulfate free, but it should have at least cleansed better than that. I've tried plenty of sulfate free clarifying shampoos that work much better, so this one just didn't do it. And it's part of their new Density Boost line, which I was excited about. Density is thickness in the hair, and you can get thicker looking hair if your hair is really clean. So this was definitely a miss. It should have been much stronger. That way you actually get more volume in your hair. Next is the InnerSense Refresh Dry Shampoo. So this is a foaming dry shampoo. I was really excited about this because everyone's always looking for a product to help refresh their hair after a workout or if they have an oily scalp so they don't have to fully wash. But this left a weird residue on my scalp to where I got like this flaky buildup. It almost like pilled. It's very hard to describe, but it made like this waxy residue where it was like coming off on my hands. I don't know what that was. In the ingredients, it has witch hazel, tapioca starch. It has quite a few starches, which are supposed to help soak up oil. I've used foaming dry shampoos before with starches, and they just help create texture and grit, and they do give like a drying feeling on the hair. But I've never had them create this weird gritty residue. And I tried at different times with different products already on my hair. I've actually tried the Creme foaming dry shampoo. That one I really like, and it doesn't leave that weird residue in my hair, and it creates a similar effect. The next half of the video is going to be products that did work for me. So again, these are products I tried within 2024 that were great and did work well for me. The first one is actually a styler combo, and that are the custom products from Prose. So I have the Prose Custom Curl Cream and the Custom Styling Gel. The reason I'm including these two together is they only work well together. I didn't get great results when using the gel by itself, and you're obviously not going to get hold out of just a cream by itself. So I was so skeptical about this service because I always find that there's a disconnect between what we want out of our products and then what brands provide. So when I couldn't actually read the ingredients, before buying these, and I was just taking a quiz, and then they give you your ingredients when your products come. So they make custom products is what the service is. That's why I was super skeptical, because I like to assess if a product's gonna work for me based on ingredients, because I nerd out about ingredients. But for someone who doesn't understand product ingredients, or if you've never been able to find products that work for you, I do think this would be worth that. It is a higher price point, which also kind of turned me off, because like I was just saying, if products are in the $30 price range, they better be great. But I do have a 50% discount when you use my link below. And unfortunately, since this is a custom formula, I can't tell you that if you order these, you're going to get the same experience. But I did do a full review on the blog post that goes with the video that I did recently using these. So if you do want to see what I answered in my quiz and then what my ingredients were, and more about the products that I got, you can read that blog post. So you can also see my results in that video as well. I get much better results when using these two together, and I think it's because my curl cream contains polymers, which my hair typically likes. So that's silicone and polyquaternium. Those two ingredients work well and give me longer lasting results. The gel has decent ingredients, but it doesn't have a ton of those longer lasting ingredients that I mentioned, but the curl cream does. So that's why I think I like the two together. When I use just the gel by itself, it doesn't quite last into day 2, like I do have to touch up and refresh. I still don't know if both of these together hold up in humidity, because I've only gotten to test these in drier weather. Next is the Tootie Lab All Weather Styling Gel. The reason I'm featuring this one is because for a medium hold gel, it actually gives me pretty long lasting results. The only caveat to this one is it doesn't quite hold up for me in humidity like the claims say. So I don't know if it's just my hair type or my humidity level. I'm in Virginia. It's not as bad as someone with even higher humidity south, but it is quite a bit of humidity. I did try this quite a bit back in the summertime and it did not cut it. My hair completely frizzed by the end of the day in humidity. But when it's not humid, it's a great gel. And if I want a medium hold, so I want more fullness and more of a softer look in my hair, this is definitely something I would go with. This is a one and done styler, so you can use it by itself. And that's what I really like in a gel. I like when a gel provides moisture and hold, so this does that. It's accurate in the hold level. I definitely think it's a true medium hold gel. I'm really hoping Tootie Lab comes out with a strong hold gel in 2025, because I will definitely be trying that one. This also has built-in heat protection, which is really unique. You don't always see that in products, so I love that because I'm all about simplifying your routine. So built-in heat protection, medium hold, doesn't quite hold up for my hair type in humidity, but it is very easy to refresh. You can refresh with just a little bit of water and it doesn't make the hair look worse when you refresh. Next product is the Umberto Giannini Curl Control Cream. So I tried this towards the end of 2024 and I was blown away by the performance of this curl cream. I'm usually not super picky with curl cream because, like I said, it's the last styling product you use that typically makes the most difference in your hair in terms of hold and definition. So usually I'm not picky with curl creams, but the reason I wanted to feature this one is because most curl creams are way too heavy for finer hair types or people who want a lot of hold, and this one is not. It is really hard to find a lightweight curl cream, and this one is very lightweight, and it includes heat protection in it. That's another big one because we can cut out products, so you don't even have to use a heat protectant, because the more products that you're using under your gel, it can weigh down your hair and soften your hold. So you can just use this plus a gel. I really like it with the Umberto Giannini Curl Jelly, which is another great medium hold gel. I've used that one for a couple years, so I didn't feature it here, but it works great over top of this. So if you need a little bit more moisture and you want added heat protection when using the curl jelly, definitely try this one underneath, and I've really been enjoying my results with it. So I did do a video using this and the curl jelly, so I will link that for you down below. I have more Tootie Lab products. This is the Tootie Lab Gentle Shampoo and the Detangling Conditioner. I wanted to feature both of these because I really like them together. They're both amazing products. They really nailed it with these. Great formulation. It's right up my alley. It's a stronger shampoo that's not too stripping. It's right in the middle in terms of the moisture level and how cleansing it is. If you have a lot of buildup, just use this twice and it will do the trick. I don't have a lot of residue left behind in my hair. It's really great, and I think it would work for all hair types. Then the detangling conditioner has high slip. It's not too heavy. That's usually what I look for in a conditioner. I want it to detangle my hair with ease and also not leave behind a bunch of oils and butters that soften my gel cast. This does not do that. Just make sure you spend some time fully rinsing it out and you'll be good to go. So this is a solid option. I know they are pricier products, but I do have a discount code, which makes it a little bit easier. There's a lot of other shampoos and conditioners too that I liked this year. So if you need more drugstore options, I have a bunch of videos on my favorite shampoos and conditioners I can link for you, but that's definitely been one of my favorites that I've been reaching for a lot, so it's made it into some of my top products of all time. Next product is a wash day staple for me now. This is the Trelux Soothe and Restore Aloe Vera Curl Primer. I'm a huge fan of detangling your hair before you shampoo. It just makes it so much easier to wash your hair when you don't have a bunch of tangles. Shampoo tends to mat up the hair and make it even more knotted, so it's nice to remove them first. You can totally just use a conditioner or a little bit of oil on dry hair to remove tangles first, but if tangles are bad or if you're in a hurry, this makes it so easy and it doesn't cause breakage. You just wet your hair down in the shower and apply a glob of this and you will just feel your hair instantly soften. It creates this really silky, soft feel in the hair to where the tangles just kind of melt away. It's crazy. And it is a multi-purpose product. You could technically use this as a primer before you style. That's mainly what I think it's designed for, and then also as a refresher, but I don't really like using extra products to refresh that aren't already in my hair. I typically don't use this as a primer before my gel either, like to style and leave in my hair, because I like to keep it simple and just use the gel that really maximizes your hold instead of having a bunch of products on under your hair. So I don't usually use it like that, but I do love it in the shower as a pre-shampoo detangler. I also have a code too for Trelux that I can put down below. Next is the Curlsmith Hydrate and Plump Leave-In. Curlsmith released their volume recipe this year, which had a bunch of products that are supposed to help volumize your hair, including a mousse, which gave me a ton of volume, but this is their leave-in conditioner as part of that line. And the reason I've really been enjoying this and using this product the most out of all of those products is because it's a very lightweight leave-in conditioner. And just like I mentioned with the curl cream before, it's hard to find those lightweight moisturizing products. So if you have finer hair and you do want to leave in, especially in the winter time, this is definitely one to try. It does claim to help increase volume, but I wouldn't necessarily rely on a leave-in or a curl cream or any of those creamy types of products to really create a difference in volume. I think it's more so going to be your mousse or your gel or a hairspray that's really going to increase volume. This doesn't create any texture and grit or anything in the hair either. It just lightly moisturizes. So I'm glad it's lightweight because you don't want heavy products if you want volume. I did get really great volume with the mousse as part of this line, but it can be a little bit difficult to use because if you use too much, it gets too texturized and gritty. But that leave-in conditioner I use with other Curlsmith gels, like my favorite Shape Up Aqua Gel from Curlsmith. I used that recently in a video, and that combination was great. So lightweight leave-in pairs perfectly with Curlsmith gels. Last but not least is the Living Proof Scalp Care Density Serum. I know you all have been waiting to see my results on this, so I did want to share those in this video. But I have been using this for about 9 months, which is probably the longest and the most consistent I've been with a scalp serum. So scalp serums you have to use quite a bit and for a long time to actually see a difference in density and hair growth, because a hair growth cycle takes at least, I think, 3 months. I think Living Proof even recommends longer with this. This is not a cheap product. I was very skeptical about it, and I'm still not 100% sure that I have hair growth, but I want you guys to tell me what you think. I'm going to put up some pictures on the screen. Pause the video though so you can really look at them and let me know if you see a difference. I feel like I do see a slight difference in density when looking at these photos. So the reason I took photos of my hair on that hairline area is because that was the main area I was trying to regrow. That's where I have a lot of very sparse hair. It's very stringy in these areas, and I wanted to kind of fill that in. The only thing, I was not as consistent during the summertime. I ran out for a little bit and it took me a bit to get more bottles. So I was a little bit inconsistent in the summer, which is why I ended up using it for so long. So once I got some more bottles, I used it very consistently through December. So I tested it for a very long time. It was like February through December with a few breaks in between. And I do feel like my hair has gotten a lot thicker. However, I can't completely contribute it to this because there's a lot of other internal factors that come to play when it comes to hair growth. So I don't know in particular if my hair growth was my hair's normal growth restoring and, equaling out to what it should be when I used to have hair loss before, and now I don't have quite as much hair loss. So I don't know if it's 100% from this or other things. So that's why I'm really funny about recommending serums and stuff. I don't talk about hair growth a ton because it's just, there's so many factors that come into play, and I don't believe one serum is going to fix your hair loss. But I do feel like I see some of my hair filling in with this when I look at these photos. It's just subtle and hard to tell a huge difference. The other thing is I definitely feel like my hair has gotten fuller this year. And again, I don't know if it's just it naturally filling in or if it's from the serum, but I cannot deny that my hair looks a lot fuller. I can really tell this when my hair is wet. So I do have some photos I will put up of my hair when it's wet. So this is before I diffuse. I usually do this shot in my videos. So that's what I grabbed from here. And you can see a big difference. One is from the beginning of the year and one is towards the end of the year where I definitely see my hair has gotten thicker. Now I've also had a couple of haircuts in here to trim off the stringy end, so that's a huge part of it too, but I just feel like it's a lot thicker. It's just one of those things where you can just tell, but it's hard to have that exact data to really show, and it's something that's so hard to measure. While I took a ton of progress photos, I didn't do a good job at measuring the density. I wish that I had measured the density. Looking back, I should have done that. It's just hard to get an exact read, but you can actually measure your ponytail density because I feel like that's what's changed. So try it out if you want, but warning, it is super pricey. I started getting it on Amazon Subscribe and Save because that was the only place I could find a little bit of a discount. We finally got through all the products. If you want to see the products that I recommend, you can check out the shop page on my blog. There's a bunch of filters that you can use to filter through the products based on your preferences. So you'll find filters for hold level. You will find them for like contains protein, doesn't contain protein, has aloe in it, doesn't have aloe, like whatever your preferences are, there's probably a filter for that. So I will have that shop page linked down below. And you're probably wondering what gels I actually recommend because I'm so picky with gels and I had a bunch of gels I don't like in this video and not a lot that I do like. That is because a lot of the gels that I like are in another video that you can check out. It's called the Best Anti-Frizz Products. I included a bunch of products that actually make a difference when it comes to frizz, and a lot of them are some of my all-time favorite products that I've used for a long time, which is also why they didn't make it in this video. So if you want to watch that, I will have the video linked right here on the screen. Check that out to see more of the products that actually help with frizz that I do recommend if that's something you're looking for. So I will talk to you over there. Bye, everyone.